Hey friend, what's up? It's me, Devin Marvell, back again with another video. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. While you're at it, don't forget, make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. What are you waiting for? You're sitting on the couch. You might as well go ahead and do it. You remember those commercials, annoying Everest commercials? You're sitting on the couch, you're doing nothing with your life. Why don't you just call Everest? And it's like, let me go ahead and change the channel, but anyways, can we talk about Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 4, Episode 2? Let's talk about Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 4, Episode 2. So the show kicks off with Brandy's brother, Ray J. We didn't get to see him in the first episode, so this is us trying, getting to see what he's been up to recently. So he lets us know, him and Princess, they got married, they went off to have a little honeymoon off in Europe. Ooh, cute, right? And they're back now, and his focus is making stacks and making babies. So Ray goes out to lunch with Safaree and A1, and A1 says that he and Lyrica are still good. He's lit right now because he has 7 songs that are on the radio or on the charts or whatever. Don't ask me what they are, because I don't know, I can't tell you. And he's also starting his own labels. That's what A1 has been up to. So Ray J says to A1, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to make some babies. A1 says, well, we still using condoms, talking about him and Lyrica. And Safaree and Ray J are like, what? Ray J says, well, what's the point of being married if you can't raw dog it, right? I really like this group of guys together. I like seeing them on screen together. They have really good chemistry, and they're funny. They're really funny together. So Ray J lets us know that him and Princess are interested in having a baby, but they've just been having a little bit of trouble, and Ray J's kind of starting to think that it might be him who is the trouble. So Ray J has this bright idea, right? Okay, y'all ready? Ray J says, y'all, let's go get our sperm count checked out. So him, Safaree, and A1 are going to go to the doctor, and they're gonna go get their sperm count checked out. But there's a catch, men like to bet, right? So the loser, the person who has the lowest sperm count, has to do a song with none other than Hazel E. So they're all, apparently none of them want any parts of that, so they are like, okay, well, deal. The next scene we see Booby. He is in the pool doing his physical therapy exercises or whatever because he hurt himself playing a pickup game of basketball. He says that he's getting back into, fighting shape. He's starting to feel better, he's starting to look better, but he hasn't forgotten about his music. So Booby is kicking it with Brooke Valentine, and apparently they have been cool for a very long time. I think she said that they go back to Texas or whatever. She wanted to let it be known that they aren't messing around or anything, but I hate to say that men and women cannot be friends, because that's not the case. I don't believe that heterosexual men and women cannot be friends with each other, strictly just friends without there being any feelings or, anything extra going on. But these two were giving me just a little bit of a, I don't know. Did y'all feel it? Cause I felt it. There was something in the water there. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. So Brooke tells him, well, I know that you're focused on basketball, but don't forget about your music. And he says, girl, what about you? You haven't had a song since 1927. He didn't say that, but in so many words. He was like, well, what about your music? And she's like, oh, I knew you were gonna ask me about that. She's like, right now, I'm just working on this whole situation with Marcus. She fills in Booby on her situation with her boo Marcus and how he's still married or whatever, and his mom had to tell her that he was still married, and she's just kind of dealing with that. Booby says, he says that he's seen a lot of the guys that Brooke has dealt with because they're, such good friends. And as far as this Marcus guy goes, he feels that he's all talk and no action, and that he needs to get it together. And any guy would be lucky to wife a girl like Brooke. And I'm like, again, is that right? So he tells her, any guy would be pretty much lucky to have her and whatnot, and pretty much saying that, he wants a girl like Brooke. Brooke says, well, you know, when I be talking to my girls and whatever, you know, I'm always saying I want a guy like Booby. And I'm like, okay, but we just friends, right? But we just friends. Y'all sitting here talking about that y'all want guys and girls like, okay, whatever. The next scene, we have Moniece, Masika, Zell, and wait, who's that over there? Hold on. She looks familiar. Is that? It's Nia Riley, y'all. Yes, Nia is back, but this time without Soulja Boy. So we'll see what she's been up to. Or maybe not, because she seems like she's just kind of like a supporting cast member this time around. But I ain't mad at it, girl. Get your screen time. We also have Moniece's girlfriend, AD, and Moniece's son, Cameron, who are playing together on the beach. Moniece says that her son, Cameron, calls AD the fun mom. And Zell and Masika ask Moniece how she broke the news of her being a lesbian to her child. And she says, you know, I just kind of explained it using clothes. I said, you know, AD likes to wear her shorts and shirts and sneakers, and mommy likes to wear her dresses and tank tops and high heels. They're like, oh, that's a great way to explain it. I'm like, you know, at the end of the day, kids really don't care like that. And I don't think that Moniece's son is really at an age where she has to really do too much explaining about this situation. Maybe when he gets a little bit older. I don't even know if the kid is in grade school yet. So A$AP Rock Bottom decides that he's going to bring up what happened the other night at karaoke, which Masika missed out on. I guess he wanted to fill her and Nia in on all the shenanigans that Alexis Sky and Nikki Baby and Hazel E pulled. And as soon as he says Alexis's name, Masika is up and out of there. And she's like, you know, I've told y'all I'm not entertaining this. And Moniece is like, you know, you don't have to. She goes ahead and, you know, tells the story anyway. But Masika is not, she's not here for it. She is not at all. In the next scene, we have Marcus, who is telling us, you know, he didn't tell Brooke about his divorce because he thought he was divorced. And when he found out that he wasn't, he just didn't tell her. And he said that that was wrong. They sit down, it looks like they're like on a park bench somewhere. And he's like, you know what, he apologizes for the mistake he made. And then he tells her, I got something for you. And he hands her his divorce papers. Aww, it's so beautiful. It's precious. It's precious. Keyshia Cole is kicking it with her cousin, and she goes to meet up with rapper Too Short. Yes. What's my favorite word? She's talking about her love life. She's like, you know, hook me up with one of your homies. Just kidding. And he's like, well, you know, what's your situation going on right now? And she's like, well, me and Booby, we are co-parenting. It's working out very nicely. We have like a good thing going. She lets him know that her and Booby are living together. He's like, what? What kind of situation is this? And he's like, okay, so hold on now. What if you want to bring somebody over, or like if he has somebody over, you know, do you just be hearing the girl in the next room? Like how far apart is y'all room and everything? And she's like, oh no, we don't bring anybody over to the crib. He's like, okay, well, what if you want to get married one day? And she's like, oh, well, I mean, I guess you're right. And he's like, yeah, you're gonna have to figure that situation out. And she's like, yep, I guess I am gonna have to end up having that conversation sooner or later. Better be sooner. So I guess she's gonna go talk to Booby about their living situation and see if, you know, he's, you know, ready to kick rocks. Meanwhile, Safaree, Ray J, and A1 are at this clinic to get their sperm count tested, or whatever you want to call it. We see Safaree and Ray J, they're chilling, they're waiting. Safaree has his coconut oil, I guess, to, you know, help him rub it out. And then A1 walks in with Lyrica, who is completely oblivious to the situation that she just walked into, and is like, where do you have me at? The lady doctor comes out and is like, you know, so I got this cup, y'all ready to go to the back? And Lyrica is dumbfounded. She's like, what? This is just too much. And I'm like, yes, girl, this is too much. But she decides to stick around and give her man a hand. So then Alexis Sky meets up with A$AP Rock Bottom, and they decide, you know, I guess to talk out their differences. And she says, you know, I threw my purse and I threw my drink at you because you said something I didn't like. And he was like, I said something about your outfit, or whatever the case was. They ended up, I guess, getting on good terms. But Alexis says, you know, she knew that A$AP Rock Bottom was a messy queen, but as long as he can bring Masika to her, it's all good. So then we meet Chanel West Coast, who you guys may know from the show Ridiculousness on MTV2 with Rob Dyrdek. And she is at her single release party for her new song called Counted. Getting money every day, bagging chips, Frito-Lay. That's exactly how the song goes. I'm not kidding. Those are the literal lyrics to this song. Chanel says that she's been rapping and singing and dancing, you know, since she was a little girl. So Nicki shows up to Chanel's single release party because that's what you do when you don't have a storyline. You support. She says that her brother took Chanel West Coast to prom, so they go way back. She knows Chanel, you know, they go back, they cool. Nicki tells Chanel, girl, I didn't even know that you were doing music. And Chanel was like, girl, where have you been? She tells the story of how, you know, she ended up getting with Wayne, Lil Wayne, and she signed with Young Money, but then she ended up getting slept on over there like everybody else over at Young Money who is not Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, or Drake. There was like a whole, Young Money was like this whole group of people. Do y'all remember like back in 2008, 2009 when Young Money came out with Bedrock and they had like a whole album and it was like, it was a lot of them. And we have heard from nobody but Nicki, Wayne, and Drake since then. Like whatever happened to Lil Chucky? Huh? What happened to Lil Twist? What happened to Gutta Gutta? I put her under, you see me with her, no Stevie Wonder. What happened to him? Nicki says, you know what? I have the answer to your problems. I'm gonna introduce you to somebody. And she's like, oh, that would be great. So Lyrica, who is also at this single release party, asks Chanel, so what's your plan as far as music? And Chanel is like, I wanna get Grammys. Really, girl? You wanna get Grammys off of getting money every day, stacking chips, Frito-Lay. That's gonna get you a Grammy? Okay, girl. All right, keep dreaming, keep hope alive. Why not? So there's also this other girl there named Jade who I'm like, okay, she kind of looks familiar, but I don't know who she is. And it turns out that this was the girl that we saw Rich Dollaz dating last season on whichever franchise he was on. He just always be hopping from franchise to franchise, but he was dating her for a little bit and then Moniece came in and completely crashed that party. And she says, you know, even though Moniece crashed that party, she's over it. Moniece actually did her a favor. And Nicki was like, oh yeah, he's too old for you or whatever. She says that she's moved on. You know, she's a paralegal. And she met this guy who is technically married, but you know, since she's a paralegal, she's helping him with his divorce. You know, him and his girl haven't been together for like over a year, and you know, she's helping him with the divorce, so she knows for sure that he is getting a divorce. It's not one of those side chick situations where he's telling her, oh baby, I'm gonna sign the papers, I'm eventually sign the papers. No, she's actually in on the process. And I'm like, oh, that's good. You know what? They should introduce her to Brooke Valentine because her boyfriend Marcus also is dealing with a paralegal and in the middle of a divorce so that he could be with Brooke. I'm like, what a coincidence. They should meet. They should totally get together for like lunch sometime. It turns out that it is actually Marcus is the one that she's dating. Yes, she is messing around with Brooke's boyfriend Marcus, and I guess this boy is just full of secrets. Like, ugh, a mess. In the next scene, we see Keyshia Cole. She's chilling in her living room, I guess listening to her songs off of her new album. And she says this is more than an album. This is more than, you know, putting out music to tour. It's a rebuilding of her life, and, you know, it's a whole new experience, or whatever she said. Booby is leaving out, but she calls him in to sit down so that they can have a little chit chat. And she brings up the tough subject, like, you know, hey, this is gonna have to come to an end eventually with this living situation. She says she doesn't want any more distortion between the two of them and what their relationship is. They have this kid together. She doesn't want to be confusing him about, you know, what their situation is and the child being dependent on them, you know, being together in the same household. So, you know, she did commend him on being a good father. He commended her and thanked her for opening her door to him in his time of need when he was going through it, even after he completely dogged her out by cheating on her. But, you know, they said that they are still working on getting this divorce, but she says that they need to get it sooner than later so that she can go ahead and move on. She's not kicking him out, though. She says that he does have time to, you know, get his ish together, but she put it out there. It's out there. It's on the horizon. it's something that needs to happen. And that was such a really cute moment between the two of them. Him admitting to his mistakes and thanking her made her break down in tears. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I really like their relationship. I heard that she was like awful to him when they had their reality show on BT. I never watched that, so I can't attest to that, but where they're at now, it seems like they're in a really good space, and it's something that's good and positive to see on reality television, so I'm here for it. So Safaree and Nikki go to lunch, and Nikki's like, you know what, I got somebody I want you to meet, and then in walks Chanel West Coast. And I guess Nikki Baby wants Safaree to work with Chanel West Coast. And Safaree says, you know what, I have experience, helping a pretty young thing get to the top. He is riding the hell out of Nicki Minaj's coattails. They've been broken up for how long at this point? How long? And you have not done anything with your musical career. You have not helped anybody else, okay? Nicki Minaj is the only credit that you have to your resume. There's all this gap in your workspace. There's Nicki Minaj, and then there's, okay, where have you been working since this time? Like, okay, I see Love and Hip Hop, but as far as the music, what's going on? Stop it. You look so corny trying to take credit for this woman's career. Chanel tells Safaree that, people don't think that she struggled, but, she struggled. Before she got on television, she could barely afford a burger. Chanel says that, I too know the struggle. So Safaree says, okay, well, if I had $100 million on the table and I told you to rap about this breadstick, what would you say? And she's like, oh, yeah, you put me on the spot. You want me to rap right now? I mean, I could rap about it. I could write a whole song about it, but And so then here goes Safaree kicking his freestyle. I leave him underwater, throw him off like a dead boat. I got the game on lock, like a deadbolt. Red wine, that's the best toast. That's Nikki. I'm Stunts. That's West Coast. This has been Poetry with Safaree. Safaree says that he's not gonna give Chanel an easy pass, and he tells Chanel, well, I'm about to have a coconut oil release party for his coconut oil, and he says, you know what, I want you to come perform at it. And she's like, you know what, I'm there. So Lyrica meets up with Brooke Valentine at this dance class, and she says, she is already exhausted because she's been working hard. She had to go, she's working on her music. She had to go jack off her man at the clinic so that he could prove to his homeboys that he has the highest sperm count, and it's just, she's just, she's wore out. Nia also just so happens to be there, and I'm sitting here like, damn girl, are you getting paid just to be there? Like, okay, well, again, I'm not mad at you, get your screen time. So after the dance class, they're all sitting around in a circle, and Brooke's like, yeah, my man Marcus, ooh, I love him, and he just got his divorce, and I love him. Meanwhile, Lyrica, she knows the tea, so she's like, ooh, girl. So she finally comes out with it. She says, well, I was at this girl, Chanel West Coast, her single release party, and this girl named Jade, she's a paralegal. She says that she's messing around with this dude who is married. She's helping him get a divorce, and this man just so happens to be, Marcus. And Brooke is like, what do you mean? What, my Marcus? And they're like, yeah, girl, yo Marcus. So Brooke is like, well, I need to get to the bottom of this, but I need to talk to Jade before I slap the head off of Marcus. And I'm like, ugh, you dumb me. Like, Jade doesn't even know about you. She doesn't know about this situation. Go confront your man, because I already know how this is going to go down. I know that Brooke is going to confront Jade like a dummy. She's going to go in there. She's going to be hostile. She's going to be angry. She's going to accuse her, call her out her name. She's probably going to throw a drink at her. She's probably going to, it's going to be an absolute mess, and the person that she needs to be angry and pissed at is her own man. It's going to be stupid. Nia says, well, Chanel West Coast is going to be performing at Safaree's coconut oil release party. And I'm like, damn girl, how do you already know that? Like, he just asked her to kind of, okay, well, whatever, it's television. And she says, and Chanel and Jade are really good friends, so obviously Jade will be there. And Brooke's like, oh, well, I'll be there too. And I'm like, oh, gosh. Meanwhile, A1, Safaree, and Ray J are at the doctor's office to get their test results to see who has the highest sperm count and who is going to be in the studio with none other than Hazel E. And the winner is, for most sperm, goes to, can I have the envelope, please? Thank you. And the winner for most sperm goes to A1. Woo! Yes, A1 has the most sperm out of his homies. Congratulations. You know, he gets up, he starts making his little thank you speech or whatever. That was funny. And then in second place, we have Safari, who has the second most sperm. And then we got Ray J, who came in dead last. And it turns out he actually has a very low sperm count, lower than the average. Now we know that he does have a little bit of a problem, and he's worried about how he's gonna break that news to his wife, Princess. So ASAP Rock Bottom goes to meet with Masika. She says, you know, I have this event coming up, I need you to style me. He's like, I got you. And meanwhile, he is just smiling ear to ear, because that's just what messy queens do when they got some good tea. So she is like, okay, so what you smiling about? I know you got something to tell me because you're sitting here smiling like that. And he's like, well, you know, with the whole, with that thing that, with Alexis Sky. And Masika's like, poof! Like, Masika out. When I tell you, like, if Masika was a magician and, she wanted the crowd to participate in her disappearing act, her magic word would be Alexis Sky, because she just, as soon as she hears it, she is up and out of there. And she was. So she was like, nope, I told y'all I'm not doing this. I told y'all I'm not playing this with y'all. Y'all keep trying to play me with this. Before she went out the door, she's throwing her drink at the crew people, and, Zell's trying to follow behind her, and I guess trying to explain himself, which, if that's your homegirl, like you say she is, and you know that she does not like this person. You know that there is bad blood between her and this person. Where does your loyalty lie? You know what I'm saying? You sitting here going out to lunch with messy, just absolutely messy. I think Masika had every right to be upset. So he's chasing after her. She's cussing him out. She's cursing the camera people out. She's cursing the producers out. She's cursing the microphone guy out. She's just cursing everybody out. And she's asking for her phone. She's ready to get in her car. She's not even gonna finish the scene. She's leaving. So her and Zell are going back and forth. He's like, that's why your heels are dirty. And messy freaking Love and Hip Hop, of course, zooms in on that girl's heels. I was like, Mona girl, y'all are wrong for that. Y'all are wrong. But yeah, that's all for season 4, episode 2 of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. What did you guys think about it? I thought it was a decent episode. What do you guys think is going to happen with this whole Brooke versus Marcus versus Jade situation? I know the previews pretty much look like what I thought was going to happen. She's going to be more mad at Jade than she is at her man. You know, how do you think the coconut oil release party is going to go down? I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's meet back here next week so we can talk about it. Let me know how you guys feel about this episode in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Stairway2Devin. That is Stairway, T-O-D-E-V-E-N. Also follow my Facebook page, Stairway to Devin. Got some good content on there as well. And I have this book on Amazon. It's called Stand Up. You can find it under the author Teresa Haley. It's a collaborative book full of inspirational stories, and I'm one of the inspiring people that's in there. But it's only $9.95 on Amazon, and I think it's on Barnes & Noble as well. So make sure that you guys get that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you for watching, and thanks for being a friend. Bye.